Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Adebisi Daudu, known as Shalom as an author. In today we'll be looking into the Living Beyond the Limit program module 2 series 2. The last time we looked into the series 1, now we'll be looking into the series 2 of the programs. And the summary says of the programs, the Living Beyond the Limit modules programs is based on the faith building, spiritual growth and motivations that will enable the recipient of the modules programs on how to understand or having an understanding of the mechanisms that will enable them to live beyond the limits and limitations of life. See, being imparted with the mechanisms which are involved with the modules program will enable them to live beyond the limits and limitations of life. Also, as I've said, the program modules also have summaries, objectives, and the overall objectives of the program modules. Now let's look into the objectives of the program modules. Say the imparted are emotional, self-sufficient, using the program modules, living beyond the limit to impart into the non-emotional, self-sufficient. The overall objective of the module programs, say being emotional self-sufficient is the beginning of creations and achieving destiny and purpose in life. Meanwhile, let's look into the module 2 of Living Beyond the Limit for today's content. Now we'll start with the objectives of the program modules of module 2. It says acknowledging the in any process is the first fundamental principles in bringing solutions. That's the objectives of today's module programs. Now the outcome is right positions and right standing in endeavors. Now let's look into the skills and knowledge of the today module programs, the foresight and insight. Now let's look at the knowledge of today programs. It says accurately and being accurate. Yes, today, as I've said, we'll look into the Living Beyond the Limit program module tools, and it says limit and limitations are the visible phenomena that appears or happen in the human world or endeavors, and these visible elements occur in stages. Now it says, what are the right response to limits? In this today modules, there's a Bible verse for us in Zechariah 4:7. It reads, "Who are you, O great mountains, before Zerubbabel? You shall become a plain, and it shall bring forth the capstones with shouts of grace to it." Now, say the mysteries of limit or limitations are unimaginable occurrences that try to influence our life purpose, goals, or destinies. These occurrences has been a patterns for us not to understand and handle in our own strengths or abilities. Now, in other words, it says, what are the right response to limitations? It says, at every challenges and circumstances or difficulties that may be facing one in life, there's always a solution in overcoming the strange circumstances that have been making lives unlivable and sources unachievable for us. Now, as we have looked into the Bible verse, and there's an kind of examples of those or the persons that experience the limit and how he overcome. It says Zerubbabel acknowledged the right response. Examples say nothing could have happened in the life of Zerubbabel if it's not right position or right standing in God. It says sin is the total element that destroy the relationship between God and men. Now there's a kind of element or kind of a response to what now this morning. It says how to acknowledge the right response to limitation. How are we going to acknowledge this right response? Fine, there are limits and limitations. Now, how to acknowledge the right response to limitations? It says Zerubbabel has a deep insight that there are limits and limitations, and he was able to have a good relationship with his creator. Also, he has an insight and foresighting into the solution, into the situations which enable him to live beyond his limits and limitations of his lifetime. Now, he knows, he have foresighting, he know deeply with himself what is all around him. Like this time we are now in time of pandemics. Now every one of us have kind of insight, foresighting. Now Zerubbabel acknowledge, and we being acknowledged, the time we are is also one of the elements that will enable us to achieve the victory over the limits and limitations. As the program module 2 will be brings to an end now, there's the end of program module 2 for us this hour. It says module 2's help one to understand the meaning of acknowledgement in a process of bringing solutions, and also enable one how to have foresight and insight into a process of achieving a solution and being accurate. Well, if we are able enough to acknowledge, it will enable us to be accurate and to have this kind of what we want to do at this time. If we are honestly within ourselves, being acknowledged, this time we are find is a very times of difficulties, the times of where there's no work, there's no job. Many people have lost job, many people have been so kind of idle, but by the time we acknowledge the time we have, then we are in the step of achieving the solution of living beyond the limit. And today also there's the questions. I don't know if you have a questions that you would like to ask me regarding to limit and limitation. You can leave a comment or questions below my YouTube content or on this video. Also, if you want to access some of my books on my website or on the Amazon online shop or site, you can just click on my website link on the frames of my YouTube page. It will take you directly to my website. Now there's a post assessment. Say, are you able to understand the meaning of acknowledgement? 1, 2, how are your positions and standing in God? 3, are you being able to have foresighting and insighting into situations? Lastly, say the word accurately, it has a meaning to you. This brings the end of today Living Beyond the Limit program module 2 series 2 to end. As I've said, if you have a question to ask me regarding how you can achieve the solution regarding to the limits and limitations, please kindly leave a comment or questions. See you in the next video. Bye.